difference between this cow and what is the difference between a cow and a horse and a donkey and some other things. So they may misunderstand. If they have never seen, they may call donkey to be cow or donkey to be horse. No, because they don't know. Mm. So like that, they may call anything as anything. So similar in this world, because people don't know what is love, they call lust to be love. So, but we see in Vedic texts, there is an elaborate, proper explanation and understanding of what is love and what is lust. So we see, originally all living entities are in the spiritual world and they have love for Krishna and they have love for all living entities. Love is selfless. Love is on spiritual platform. Love is based on knowledge that I am not this body and spirit soul. Part and parcel of Krishna, it is servant of Krishna. Hmm. Atmindra Priti once Kariboli Ram. Krishna is Priti Icha, Ray Prema. When there is desire to love and serve God, serve Krishna, that is love. And what is lust? Lust is exactly opposite of love. Lust means Atmindra Priti Vancha, Kariboli Ram. When there is desire to satisfy our own self, when we want to gratify our own senses, when we want to gratify our own mind, when we want to gratify our own intelligence, when we want to gratify our own false egos, that is called as lust. Lust is selfish gratification of our own mind, senses, intelligence, false ego. Hmm. Love is to serve Krishna, to please Krishna. Hmm. In this world, people think, oh, why I have to do anything with Krishna at all? I don't need Krishna. And for me, I, me, and mine is the center of my life. That is actually lust. There is no question of love without God. God is source of everything, and we are part and parcel of God. And God has unlimited love for us. Though we have rejected God, God keeps on providing all our needs. For even atheists, God gives food. For even atheists, God gives oxygen, sunlight, and all the necessary. Because God loves everyone. Even demonic people, even atheistic people. So, a person who is helping us day in, day out, life after life, in every sphere of life. If we cannot love him, can we love anybody else in life? So, in this world, people, those who ignore God, that is sign of ignorance, and that is sign of too much ingratitude and selfishness. So lust means trying to satisfy oneself without anything to give and take with God. Love means when you want to serve God. There's no love without God. If I say, okay, I love you, you love me, without God, there's no love. That is lust only. If somebody says, I love someone, somebody says, I love you, something, and there's no connection with God, and she wants to know that will be hidden agenda. I love you, why? You have a lot of money. So actually, I am not loving you, I am loving the money. There's hidden agenda. So, so-called love, which in this world people say, I love you, that is not love. Actually, that is lust. So lust is selfish. Love is selfless. Lust is based on ignorance. Lust is based on ignorance, thinking oneself to be body, thinking oneself to be all and end all, thinking oneself to be Lord and Master, thinking oneself to be proprietor, controller, and enjoyer. So lust is based on that ignorance. Love is based on knowledge. That, oh, I'm not this body, I'm spirit soul, I'm Atma, I'm part and parcel of Krishna, I'm eternal servant of Krishna. Krishna is the proprietor, Krishna is the controller, Krishna is supreme enjoyer. And everything is made for Krishna's enjoyment. One time, some young boys and girls had come to meet Srila Prabhupada, and they asked Prabhupada, Swamiji, what is the goal of life? Prabhupada said, goal of life is enjoyment. So they became very happy. Prabhupada said, not your enjoyment, Krishna's enjoyment. Purpose of life is that whatever we have, we should engage it in such a way that it gives pleasure to Krishna, enjoyment. Because everything belongs to God. God is supreme proprietor, God is supreme controller. And therefore everything is meant for his service. So to disregard God and think oneself to be proprietor, controller and trying to be enjoyer, that is based on ignorance. And no matter how much we try to enjoy this world, यही संसर्ग होगा दुख एने रहते more we try to enjoy this world, result is suffer only. We can't enjoy. We may desire to enjoy, but it will lead to suffering only. So, lust is based on ignorance, love is based on knowledge. Lust is doesn't satisfy heart. Love will completely satisfy heart. So, there is gross lust and there is subtle lust. Gross lust means gross enjoyment. Subtle lust means subtle enjoyment. Gross lust means grossly trying to enjoy the senses. I want to eat nice food. I want to see nice objects. I want to hear nice music. To gratify our senses grossly. That is called as gross lust. And in material world, the topmost form of gross lust is sex life. So, desire for sex is actually gross lust. And then there is subtle lust. Subtle lust means desire for name, fame, glory. Puja, Labh, Pratishtha. We want everybody should honor us, worship us, respect us. Everybody should know our glory. Everybody should know, understand how great, how unique, how special I am. So desire for this. In this world, people working so hard. Why they are working hard? Because they want to carve a name in the history of the world. I am the first person to win the gold medal. I am the first person, the biggest scientist. I am the biggest whatever. What is that? Actually, that is subtle lust. Actually, you are not the biggest or greatest or first in anything. The biggest, greatest, first is Krishna only. Isn't it? Can we compete with Krishna? No. But we want to compete with Krishna. We don't disregard, oh, Krishna is mythology. It doesn't exist. I am the first person to climb Mount Everest. I am the first person to discover America. I am the first person to discover electricity. I am the first person to discover gravity. I am the first person this. I am the most powerful person. I am the fastest person. I am this person. What is this? It's lust based on ignorance. Because we are ignorant about God. God is the best person. God is the first person. And whatever little abilities we have is also by mercy of God. Whatever little intelligence is there. Buddhim buddhimatam chaham. Krishna explains. What intelligence people have? I am giving them. Balam balavatam chaham. Krishna says, whatever strength people have, so I am giving strength. Unless Krishna gives strength, we won't have strength. Unless Krishna gives intelligence, Mattan Smriti Jnanam Apanam Cha. We may be the greatest scholar, but if Krishna takes our intelligence, we may forget our name also. What is our scholarship? If Krishna doesn't digest our food, we won't be able to survive. So Krishna is actually first, and Krishna is source of everything, Krishna is best of everything, Krishna is the essence of everything. But we want to disregard Krishna and we want to say, I am the source of everything, I am the best of everything, I am the essence of everything. And we want all the credit and all the glory. That is actually lust. I met one Dr. Richard Ernst. He got Nobel Prize for magnetic resonance. And then later on we see this all sonography. What is that? And all that CT scan and different things came up. MRI, whatever, all that thing came. So he was explaining how he came up with this magnetic resonance and all these things, and he was explaining practically for 2, 3 decades, day and night he was working hard. Many times not sleeping, many times not eating, and he was madly after this research, and finally he came up. Hmm. So it was great austerity for doing this research. So when he told that story about all his hard work, afterwards there was a question session, and one student asked him, "My dear sir, it's practically unbelievable how much hard work you have done for coming with this um, uh, concept and whatever phenomena, discovering this phenomena, magnetic resonance, all these things, and getting this Nobel Prize, Nobel Prize for that, So what motivated you to work so hard, to sacrifice sleep, to sacrifice eating and sleeping and all these things? We are very inspired by you. Please tell us what motivated you, so that we also can get motivated and inspired in our life, and we can also work hard like you. The answer which is once again shattered my heart. He said, "What motivated me? The same what motivates all scientists." I was wondering what motivates all scientists. He said, "I want to prove myself." I was saying that he was not interested in proving the truth, knowing the truth. He was interested in proving himself. Really shattered my life. Just think, do I want to just follow in footsteps of such people who are just interested in proving themselves? How many of you think scientists in today's world are interested in proving themselves? We say everybody in this world want to prove themselves. Uh, all the scientists, all the whatever administrators, they want to prove they are better than others. All the politicians, all the sports people, all the films people. What is everybody trying to do? No? They want to prove themselves they're better than everybody. What is this? This subtle lust. But people think it's very great because they don't know what is love. They glorify lust. Hmm? Parents or teachers ask small children in class, "What do you want to become?" They said, "Oh, I want to become number one scientist in the world. I want to become number one sports person in the world." Everybody said, "Jai, Jai, Jai, great, isn't it?" He says, "I just want to become servant of Allah." What do you think teacher will say? What do you think parents will say? Say, "What a foolish guy it is. He doesn't want to become the best person in the world." Actually, who's the best person in the world? Krishna. So everybody wants to replace Krishna. You want to become, everybody wants to become better than everybody. You want to be the number one. Why? Because that is actually subtle lust. You want to be, center of life. You want everybody to glorify us. You want everybody to serve us, worship us. So this is lust. So therefore, the author is saying, all this material world is revolving around this lust. And in lust, uh, prominent aspect is sex life. Both is gross and subtle. Sometimes somebody may control gross lust, but then he fall prey to subtle lust. So Krishna is explaining, as fire is covered by smoke, as mirror is covered by dust, as the embryo is covered by womb, the living entity is similarly covered by different degrees of lust. Anybody who is there in the material world is covered by lust. Generally, we won't have this material body if there is no lust. This material body is symptom of sum total of all our ignorance, sum total of all our material desires, sum total of all our lust. When we look at our material body, we should know this is because of lust. When our heart is purified and filled with love, then we can go to kingdom of God, when we get spiritual body. In spiritual world, there is no lust. In spiritual world, there is love. Therefore, they have spiritual body. In material world, soul is covered by lust. Mm. And therefore, so lust is in form of different bodies. So, in this world, except Supreme Person Godhead and those great acharyas who are coming from the spiritual world to teach about science about it, everybody else is covered by lust. It's not a question of whether I am covered, you are covered, he is covered, they are covered. Everybody is covered by lust. It's a question of just different degrees. Some is covered with lust to great extent, somebody is covered with lust to less extent. But the fact that we are in the material world means we are having lust. So as fire is covered by smoke, mirror is covered by dust, embryo is covered by womb. So these are different layers of lust. So I shall explain. Embryo is covered by womb. When embryo is in the womb, practically it's fully covered, hardly any, we can't see. So that it's like trees. Uh, that comparison is given in trees. Trees are having hardly any consciousness. Their consciousness is completely covered. So, so embryo is covered by womb compared to trees in this material world. So trees are personification and the maximum lust is there. Therefore, their freedom is choked. More there is lust, more the freedom is choked. Because if lust is there, you are going to damage others. You will damage yourself and damage others. So to save yourself and save others, what happens? Their freedom is choked. So trees cannot move also. Because lust is there. We see Nal where money grew. They were trying to enjoy. And when Narguni came, they didn't even cover their body. They were naked. Narguni said, oh, you are so much infatuated by lust. May you become trees. If a person is too much infatuated by lust, he may become tree only. Then you don't have to wear clothes also. So nowadays, so trees are actually, if one is too much engrossed in lust, he may become tree. And then freedom is choked up. Why freedom is choked? Because when you can't harm others much, you can't harm yourself much. So that is the law of nature. Animals and birds, they are compared with mirror covered by dust. When mirror is covered by dust, you can't see your face there, isn't it? No, because everything is dust. So animals, birds, beasts, insects, all this, they can never understand that they are not his body, they are spirit soul, because they cannot see the soul. Because the mirror of the heart is covered by dust. And human beings, they are compared with fire is covered by smoke. Fire, fire is there, fire is also covered with smoke. So relatively, humans have less lust, animals have more lust, and plants have maximum lust. So we cultivate lust in our human form life, then we may become animals and birds and beasts. And if we cultivate more lust, then we may become trees. And if we keep free from lust, then we can get spiritual body and go to the spiritual world. Whole modern civilization, what is trying to do? We just aggravating lust, cultivating lust. In name of school, college, university, what are they doing? They are just aggravating lust. The purpose of education is to become free from lust and to awaken love in the heart. Perfection of education is when we have love for God and love for all. And complete failure of education is instead of love we develop lust. So we see modern education is a complete failure because when people go to school, college, university, their heart become more infiltrated by lust. You see, sometimes people are coming from good families, but when they come to hostel in first year of engineering or medical or hotel college, they learn so many bad habits. They spoil their character. And in school, college, teachers don't tell them that this is bad. Rather, sometimes we find that teachers are also engaged in sinful activities. Sometimes teachers may have affair with students also, Uh, so, and sometimes they are also a victim of lust. So, this lust is what Avruttam Jnanam Yegre, no? Knowledge gets covered by lust. Jnanam Nitya Vairina, Kama Rupena Gauten Dushpurena, and Krishna is telling, original spirit soul is very pure, but when he wants to enjoy separate from God, he comes to this material world. And then his influence gets covered over by his eternal enemy lust. Nitya Vairina. As long as we are in material world, our greatest enemy is lust. How long lust will trouble us? As long as we are in material world. Now we are in human body. Uh, uh, Lust is our enemy. Later on, suppose we misuse human body, we will become animal. Lust will torment there also. Then we become plant also. Lust will torment there also. And we may go on 8.4 million species. Life after life, this lust will not leave us. Unless we become Krishna conscious. Unless we have love for Krishna. Hmm. Unless we have love for Krishna, all our education, all our uh, wealth, all our success, all our achievement, everything will be failure. Foolish people may glorify us. Oh, he's a Nobel laureate. Foolish people may glorify he's a world champion of this and that. But no wise person will glorify. He's just a puppet in the hands of Maya. Hmm. He is just a person who has no control over mind and sense. So real success of life is to control mind and sense, not fall prey to lust and develop divine love. So foolish people, they have material desires, and they try to fulfill material desires. But wise person understand this: material desires are my enemy. I should not try to fulfill material desires. I should cultivate spiritual desire, and I should try to fulfill spiritual desires. Goal of life is not to fulfill material desires. More we try to fulfill material desires will increase. Hmm? Material desires will not be satisfied. Hmm. Here, Krishna is an example. When you pour fuel in fire, fire is going to increase, not extinguish. Similarly, we have lust in our heart, we want to enjoy senses. When we try to enjoy, then what will happen? Lust in heart will increase, the fire of lust will increase. Then you pour more fuel, more it will increase and it will burn and devour completely. So, this lust has never satisfied anybody in this world. Hmm. And lust only leads to misery. Therefore, यही संसर्ग होगा दुख in a अत्यंत content न तेषु रमते बुधा. Buddha means intelligent people. Intelligent people don't try to satisfy lust. Intelligent people try to control their mind and sense. They try to satisfy Krishna. Please Krishna. But foolish people, they reject Krishna and they want to satisfy their own mind and senses. And therefore, they just continue suffering after suffering after suffering. No matter how much scientific technology you may develop, no matter how much gold medals you may earn, no matter how much material prosperity you have, but unless you control your mind and senses, one can never be happy. Hiranyakashipu had all the facilities, he was miserable. Ravana had all the facilities, he had so many wives, and he kidnapped so many beautiful persons, but he was never satisfied. And he was destroyed. Hmm? So, one should understand that lust is not our friend, it is our enemy. How many may understand this fact? Lust is not our friend but enemy. That is a very big thing. Foolish people in this world, they don't understand this. They think, oh, lust is my enemy. All of life is to fulfill my material desires. No, all of life is to become free from material desires. This lust is a disease. You have to cure it. Lust can never be satisfied. Lust burns like fire. And externally they may be sitting in AC, and externally there may be some people adoring, worshipping, glorifying. but in heart they're just burning. And therefore we see even big celebrities, the famous people commit suicide. Time and again we see some film star committed suicide, some sports star committed suicide, some big successful person committed suicide because this lust burns like fire and mm, person cannot be peaceful. Whole Vedic civilization is centered around this principle: how to conquer lust and how to develop love. And whole modern civilization is based on how to aggravate lust. And they have no idea of love. And they just consider love, lust to be love. Because they don't know what is love. They consider lust to be love and they want to know. And they ruin their life. So we see, Vedic civilization, there is a Varnashram system. There are four ashramas are there. Brahmacharya ashram, Grihastha ashram, Vanaprastha ashram, Sannyasa ashram. The first ashram is Brahmacharya ashram. Student life. What is student life? Student life is Brahmacharya ashram. In Brahmacharya ashram, one is trained in controlling mind and senses. One is trained in scriptures, understanding the world, trying to understand the world through eyes of Shastras, through eyes of God, eyes of scriptures. Not trying to see the world with our cross eyes and trying to do some research and all these things. Our cross eyes will cheat us, and our whole human life will be wasted. Just like animals are wasting their lives. Modern civilization is making us two-legged animals. If you want to understand life, you have to understand scriptures like Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, then we get eyes to see the world, see the reality. So in student life means we should study scriptures like Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. And student life is called as Brahmacharya life. So Brahmacharya life means controlling mind and senses, and especially sex life. Brahmacharya life means zero sex life. We see in all of us are students. So what is the degree you will get after you graduate from your college?
Dual degree, MTech is been
First you will get which degree?
BTech,
BTech. What is the full form of BTech?
Bachelor of Technology.
Bachelor. What does bachelor mean?
Person has studied
What does bachelor mean? Huh? Bachelor mean, what does bachelor mean? Huh? Bachelor means brahmachari. What does bachelor mean? Brahmachari. Okay. If somebody does arts, graduate in art, what degree gets? BA, Bachelor of Art. Here is a bachelor, brahmachari. If somebody does the graduates in science, what degree gets? BSc. What is no? Bachelor. Bachelor. If somebody takes architecture, he gets what degree? Yeah, bachelor. If somebody goes and does engineering from Columbia College, he gets BE degree, Bachelor of Engineering. If somebody becomes medical professional, what degree he gets? MBBS. MBBS means double bachelor, Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery. So, bachelor. So, one thing common in all education degrees, bachelor. Because there is no education without being trained in brahmacharya. Because if you are not trained in brahmacharya principles, we can't actually understand the essence of the subject. We just be carried by superficiality and we just become puppet in hands of mind. So we'll be just fools and we'll consider ourselves to be very wise. So Vedic system or all ancient systems actually they knew on importance of brahmacharya. So student life is brahmacharya. If there is no brahmacharya life, there is no student life. As soon as one starts thinking of opposite sex, then we can study subject matter. His mind goes here and there. And he won't understand the essence. He may memorize something, he may grasp something, but that is superficial. He will lose the essence of it. So, we see, generally when in Vedic times, boys are separate, girls are separate. Boys are trained in ashram, girls are trained at home. And there's no free mixing. Because when there's no free mixing, the mind is more peaceful. When boys are together and study, they can, study properly. But as soon as girls come, boys want to impress girls. Isn't it? Natural tendency of boys is to impress girls. Even boys are talking and all things. They are next girl. As soon as one girl comes, immediately they will be conscious. They will become body conscious. यार मेरा हेयर स्टाइल कैसा है, मेरा नो लुक कैसा है, कपड़े कैसे हैं. One will become body conscious. As soon as girl comes, one becomes body conscious. How many of you observe that? One wants to impress. Why want to impress? Because one wants to enjoy. So therefore, Vedic system, which is created by God. God knows what is the problem, how to tackle that. So therefore, first thing in Vedic language is called as brahmacharya. So there is separation of opposite sex. There is no premixing. Premixing is for animals. Any dog can meet any she dog, and that is for animals. But for human beings, one has to control mind and keep distance. There is no boyfriend girlfriend business. That is sinful. If somebody says, okay, yes, after the education is over, after promotion training is over, one can go to Grihasthashram. Grihasthashram is a bona fide ashram where one can marry, and marriage is a samskara, and one can produce Krishna children. And sex life in married life, Krishna says, I am that sex life. It's considered sacred, considered auspicious. But sex without marriage, or sex outside marriage, or sex for recreation is considered sinful. And that sex will give suffering. So we see, yes, one can have association opposite sex, but only after marriage. So that is in Grihasthashram. And Grihasthashram is not that whole life you can be Grihastha. The first 25 years from Ashram, then Grihasthashram. And after Grihasthashram, one has to be Vanaprasthashram. Vanaprasthashram is where there is zero sex life. Husband and wife can stay together, but zero sex. And then Sannyasashram, there is no sex life. So out of 100 years, out of 4 ashrams, 3 ashrams, there is zero sex life. One ashram, sex life is allowed only for procreation of children. So that and children can be trained to be wonderful human beings so that they can achieve the purpose of life. So, 3 ashrams are zero sex life. Brahmacharya ashram, Vanaprastha ashram, and Sannyasa ashram. Because purpose of human life is to have love. And the greatest obstacle in developing love is lust. So the purpose of human life is to reduce lust as much as possible. So in Brahmacharya, one learns about it, how lust is our enemy, and one is trying to control lust. And those who can avoid lust once and for all life, then they don't have to get married. They can just continue to Brahmacharya. But some people have to get married. They can get married and have association, limited association. But that also for limited period of time. So that they can get realization that lust will not satisfy. Enjoying senses is not going to make me happy. What is going to make me happy is serving Krishna. What is going to make me happy is engaging my senses in serving Krishna. When one realizes that, that is perfection of life. When one realizes, oh, trying to gratify my senses is going to be miserable only. If one can hear and understand, wonderful, otherwise one can do experiment and understand. And one understands, then one gives it up, and one engages completely in service of Krishna. And when one is engaged completely in service of Krishna, when serve Krishna, then love within heart is developed. Lust and love go in together. As long as we are engaged in lusty business in this world, there's no question of developing love. When you stop lust and start engaging with the Krishna, then love will develop. So therefore, in Vedic system, you see Brahmacharya Ashram, Vanaprastha Ashram, and Ashram, there is several such. In Grahastha system, one can have such life to produce Krishna consciousness, and that is auspicious. That is glorified. But sex outside marriage, having some boyfriend girlfriend business outside marriage or before marriage, that is considered extremely abominable and it is considered sinful. Nowadays people don't understand. They think, oh, what's so wrong? They can just have boyfriend, girlfriend, and they come together, then girl becomes pregnant, they abort the child. Very simple. Prostrate couple settlements is simple. Whereas my abortion becomes even more simple. Then now the people divorce also, that is super simple. So because of this last, so many simple activities are in prison. And if you do simple activities, there is a question of peace, there is a question of happiness. You want to be peaceful, you have to stay away from self-realization. And you want to be happy, you have to engage in Krishna service. Then we can say life is very simple and blissful and happy. So, all of your student, and so all of you should be student like means promotion like. So, and if you stay promotion, you can focus on studies nice and you'll be very happy. And later on after you study is over, then you get job and all, then you want to get married, wonderful. You can get married and then marry as per scripture intention under direction of the Holy, then you Krishna married life. That's all right. But during student life, no girlfriend, boyfriend business because it is simple. And even after marriage, no affairs outside marriage. Not that okay, one can have affair with this girl, that girl now. These are all highly condemned. And these are source of great anxiety, misery. We see in Srimad Bhagavatam, so many people's life get destroyed because of lust. We see story of Ajamila. He was a good person, but he became a great murderer, great criminal because of lust. And he did so many sinful activities. Fortunately, later on he chanted the holy names and he was saved. But lust had destroyed his life. We see so many great personalities. Uh, Vishwamitra Muni, he fell down because of lust. Saubari Muni, he had to suffer because of lust. Yayati, so he was the king, emperor of the whole world, but he suffered. Purava, he was emperor of the whole world, but he suffered. And they are sharing their realizations. How? By not controlling mind and senses and just running behind gratifying senses, one views his material life, one views physically, emotionally, and spirituality. And not only physical problems happen, but so much emotional problems happen. We see Purnava, what mad, practically, he could rule the kingdom. He had to give up his kingship because of being mad. So we see that person's life completely destroyed because of this lust. So many crimes are committed because of lust. Yes or no? I heard last month some woman murdered the husband. Somebody heard? Huh? So sometimes husband can murder woman, woman can murder a man. Lust is such a dangerous thing that one cannot understand. You see, Bill Clinton was the president of America because of lust, his career got killed. Isn't it? Similarly, I remember one time I had gone to NIT Suratkal and when I went there, it was a weekday, but they had declared off holiday. And I asked, why is this today holiday? What is special day today? Because there was no, as per our Vaishnav calendar or our Indian calendar, there was nothing special. Why is the holiday today? They said, Prabhu, in today, today's holiday because yesterday one boy committed suicide, and therefore in morning everybody is mourning for his suicide. I said, why he committed suicide? Then the oldest told me a story that actually this boy, he came from a very good family, and when he came first year in NIT Surat, he was a topper in entire all branches, So he was number one student in the first year. And then when he came to second year, somehow it so happened that uh, because he became very famous also, many girls got attracted to him. And especially there was one beautiful girl in the college. She started coming to her and started taking her help, his help. He was in one department, she was in another department, And then it so started happening that he got very much attracted to her, and then it so started happening that every semester as it passed, mm, his grade started going down less and less, and her grade started getting better and better. She was not very intelligent or very high grade in first year, but in third semester she got better grades, and his grades got down. And every semester and final year she passed out with distinction, and this person fellow failed in the exam final year. Uh, this is a real story. Why? Because he stopped studying this subject and he was learning her subject and teaching her. He was from something computer or something, and she was from mechanical or electrical something. So what he used to do, he used to study her subject and teach her. And she was very happy, and then she was studying very nicely, and she was getting better and better marks. And because he was so much absorbed, helping her, thinking about her, talking to her, taking her to parties, this, that, roaming around with her and all these things, he had no time to study. And final year, she passed with distinction and he failed in it. Then she got job in Bangalore. He couldn't get job because he failed. Then both of them, because 4 years they were in campus together, and all these things that developed intimate relationship. Then, and they had earlier planned that after we graduate, we'll marry and all these things. And then when the girl got job in Bangalore, she went to Bangalore. He had to stay back, clear his subject. He said, "Don't worry, I'll clear, and I will also come in Bangalore. And then later on, I'll also get job in Bangalore. Then I will get married." She said, "Okay, no problem." And then she went to Bangalore, and again here he was struggling with his assignments and exams and all these things, and he was not able to focus also because his mind was there with her only. And later on, after it so happened that after uh, was the girl sent a letter to that boy, and what was that letter? Was the invitation for her marriage. And she said, "Oh, my parents have arranged marriage, this, that. And please excuse me, that. And he was so mad that he said, "Oh, I ruined my entire career for her, and now she's marrying somebody else. So he was so frustrated. The bike on which he used to roam around with that girl, he went, he took out that bike and he took out the petrol from that bike and he just put that petrol on himself. And in the hostel itself, he set himself ablaze and he was burned to death in the hostel campus. Then he was the topper of the college, number one ranker, but because he got diverted from his studies and got into some so-called affair, his career was destroyed, and then later on he had so much emotional turmoil. Finally, he even killed himself. So one may think I will enjoy, but actually one ends up in ruining one's life. So therefore, one has to be very careful. One should know actually, if we really want to love is not so cheap. We have to purify our hearts. We have to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. We have to control our mind and senses, no? So love is not such a cheap thing that we can just get. What is cheap is lust. It's duplicate. Sometimes you go in market, you want to buy original. Suppose you want to buy some original Apple laptop, it's very costly. You buy duplicate Apple laptop, it can be very cheap. So if you want real love, very costly after. But if you want cheap things, then no, you can get. But the cheap thing will be cheap. If you want to love, then you have to practice spiritual life, very sincere. Hmm? So all of your life is to transform lust to love, not just merge oneself in lust. So one has to be very careful. Mm, Lust, one of the ways one gets trapped to lust is by bad association. Mm. And one of the ways by which we can develop love is by good association. So if you stay in association devoted, gradually you'll be saved from lust and you'll be able to develop love. But if you devote association, you go and have bad association, what do materialist people talk about? They talk about this money and woman, that's all. How to enjoy. How to earn a lot of money, how to drink, how to smoke, how to enjoy. That's all. So if you assist with materialistic people, then your life will be filled with lust, and there is no question of any good. So one should get good association. We are very fortunate that we have opportunity to stay in voice, where everybody is trying to control their mind and sense. Everybody is trying to serve Krishna. Everybody is trying to purify themselves. Everybody is trying to uh, genuinely pay the price to get that most wonderful thing, love. So, so-called what is going on in the name of love outside of is not love. It's cheating business. It's just a lust. So, we want to transform lust in love. First, we have to have good association. And in good association, one should strengthen the intelligence by studying scriptures. One should study Bhagavatam, understand what is love, what is lust. Uh, when you study past time like Ajamila, you will understand, oh, what a danger. When studying the past time, Yayati, Pururava, when study the past times of Vishwamitra, Muni, Savarna, how their lives are living by lust. Everyone can go around, oh, you study past time of Chotaharidas, how Lord Chaitanya was so strict, how we should avoid, then one will know. In Ujjain, there was one king, his name was Bhartrhari. He was a king, but somehow he was overpowered by lust. And because he was king, he married many queens. He married Jai, Shishi, Jarmana, Pradesh, Maya, Kija, and and especially he was very much infatuated by his youngest queen, and he was madly in love with her, mm, so-called love. So one time, a great saintly person came, and so this person was so much infatuated by lust, and then he wrote. He was a great poet also. He wrote one book, Shingar Shakar. 100 verses glorifying love. Love is actually lust. 100 verses glorifying lust and how one can enjoy in this world. Yeah, he wrote madly into that. Later on, one time, one saintly person came, great yogi came actually in his kingdom. And then he said, this is a very special food. He said, my dear king, you can give this food to the person whom you love the most. And anybody who takes that food, he will never become old. He'll be always youthful, filled with vitality. So he was very happy. He took that food. Then he was thinking, whom should I give? Because he loved his youngest wife very much. So he gave that food to wife. He told that it's very special food given by one great sadhu, great yogi. And he received this by yoga performance. And anybody eats this fruit, um, uh, he will never become old. He will always filled with vigor and vitality. And he told me that you should give this fruit to person you love the most. The reason I'm giving it to you. So King Queen received it, and she was very happy. And then later on, she was thinking, oh, this food is so special, and this food has to be on the person whom I love the most. So then she was thinking, the queen had an affair with some other, there was one with another minister or his person who was working in the king's palace. She had affair with the chariot driver. So she went and gave that to chariot driver. He said, she said, this food is very special. And anybody eat this food, he will always remain young and filled with vigor and vitality. And this is given by a special yogi. And he gave to my husband, no, and husband gave to me. And I am giving to you because I love you the most, more than my husband also. He said, oh, really? He was very happy. He was thinking about his food. And he had affair with another lady. So he's thinking maybe I should give to that lady. And then he went and gave that fruit to that lady. And in that way, that fruit passed from one person to another. And finally, one lady came and gave that fruit to king. And he said, my dear king, it's very special fruit. And because I love you the most, I am offering this fruit to you. And when king saw the fruit, he was surprised how it came. Then he found out. He did little research, he asked, where did you get that fruit from? And he found out, oh, that man gave it. And then he asked, how that man got it. Then she found it. And then he just traced all the link. And finally, he understood. He said, my Lord, this lust, this Kamdev has made fool out of everybody. I was thinking, I love this lady and this lady, he said, and then he immediately was so frustrated. He immediately made his younger brother as a king, and he left the kingdom, and then he wrote Vairagya Chaturthi. He said, there is no use of this lust. This lust has ruined my life, and then he wrote 100 verses glorifying Vairagya. And in Ujjain, if you go, there is Bhartahari Kufa, where he stayed and performed austerities, and where he wrote this well. The point is that we may think that lust will satisfy us, but actually lust will not satisfy us. So one should understand these facts and intelligently. One should not be carried away by propaganda. This whole material propaganda, all advertisement industry, is just provoking lust. Anything they want to sell, they will put beautiful woman's picture. And what is that doing? That just invokes lust. In this material world, everybody is, just provoking everybody's lust. Because they know if lust is provoked, they can pickpocket you, and then you are pickpocketed, then you work hard, and then you always remain slave. If you control lust, you don't have to work like ass. You can have all freedom. But if you get controlled by lust, you will become ass, and you will get kicks after kicks after kicks whole life. In this world, why people have to work so hard? Only reason is lust. If you control mind and senses, you can live very peacefully. Because our needs are very little. We can have home, we can have prasad, we can serve Krishna, we can be very happy and peaceful. Very blissful. But now people are madly running and they are not said why? Because of lust. So one should understand these things. One should control lust. Especially in student life, one should learn to control lust. Now if you control lust, then not only you get married also, you can have a happy Krishna married, and then you can, ultimately achieve the purpose of life. Otherwise, we'll never be able to achieve purpose of life. Purpose of life is to have love for Krishna, to experience great happiness in service of Krishna, and go back to Krishna, to the spiritual world, where there's no birth, no old age, no death, no disease. So one has to practice austerity of controlling senses, especially one should control eyes. When we are walking on the street, we should be very careful where our eyes are going. We should not be looking at any and every girl who is passing by. We should not do scanning, MRI scan or whatever scan, X-ray scan, from bottom to top. we should know this will destroy us. If girl comes, better look down or look in our where we want to go. So we should control our eyes, especially. And we should understand all the girls in this world are actually, they belong to Krishna. They're meant to serve Krishna, not, they're not meant for my enjoyment. One should also understand very life teaches that one should treat every woman as mother with great honor and respect. And one should never think of exploiting or abusing a girl. And especially one should be very aware of internet. Today's internet more than health is ruining people's life. Nowadays, because people's mind and soul are not controlled, instead of using internet for good purposes, so much of they watch unwanted things, watch Hollywood movies, and pornography and whatnot, and that way they are corrupting their mind and the software being, and that ruins entire life. So one should be very careful of this internet. One should have parental control or something. We should make sure that we don't go to wrong sites and watch wrong things. Whatever inputs we are giving to our eyes, they will stay in mind. And it's very difficult to work those inputs. Once if you see some wrong thing, whole life you will have to suffer. Ajamela saw one bad thing and his whole life was ruined. So one should be very careful. One should not be careless. And in this way, we should control senses and we should engage our senses in service of Krishna. Just saying no to Maya is not going to work. We have to say yes to Krishna. Morning till night, we should be busy serving Krishna. We should get up early morning, take bath, attend Mangalarti, chant 6 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and then render a lot of services. Clean the temple, clean the toilet, cook for the Lord, and do your studies nicely, focus on whatever your subjects of studies are there. Then you can preach, you can read, hear, chant. In this way, we can enthusiastically engage in service of Krishna. And then we can say, life is very peaceful. Life is very happy. Mm. So, if we can follow these principles of brahmacharya, then one can be very happy, physically, mentally, and spiritually. But if we don't follow this principle, physically we have so many diseases. Our immune system will go down. Our emotional, this grasping system will go down. Our brain capacity will go down. Our creativity will go down. Our immune system will go down. Our self-esteem will go down. Internally, we will become very hollow. If you don't control mind and senses. Externally, people may say he's a very great man, he's a topper, and he is a gold medalist, and he is Nobel laureate, and he is no rich man, all that. But actually, he will be Kokla, hollow. But internally, you control mind and senses. Externally, whatever people may say, if you deeply satisfied, very happy, very peaceful, we'll be happy and we'll be able to make others happy. Others will be frustrated, the whole life will frustrate others also. Whoever comes in touch with us, So, by mercy of Srila Prabhupada, Guru Prabhupada, they are teaching us the secret that lust is our enemy and love is our ultimate goal. And we can develop with love by process of Krishna. Who is this process of Krishna? What is the purpose of it? Develop love and to conquer our greatest enemy last. And especially one of the most potent and powerful ways to conquer lust is chant Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. To the degree we chant attentively, to the degree we chant more and more, so that in our heart will be purified. And especially, the most important thing here we see in today's verse we are reading that in ordinary prison house, criminals are kept within bars. Yeah, how many will seen prison house? either in movie or picture or photo or in reality. In prison house, criminals are kept behind bars, isn't it? So similarly, criminals who are disobedient to the laws of Lord are shackled by sex life. In this world, people may think I am free. Externally they may appear free, but actually they are not free because one is shackled by sex life. So the degree one is having lust in heart, to that degree he has no freedom. He is controlled by lust. To the degree one is free from lust in heart, to that degree is free. So external people, you may appear actually people are free, but they are not free because they are shackled by sex. Hands, legs are tied and they are mad. They are forced to act in ways that on they may realize this is not good for me, but they are forced to act in that way and destroy their life. So to degree we are disobedient to the laws of God, to that degree we are shackled by sex life. That means to the degree we follow the laws of God, to that degree we will be free from shackles of life. To that degree we will be liberated. And finally, we are liberated from cycle of birth and death also. We will be liberated from all this material laws of karma, and laws of birth and death also, and we can go to the kingdom of God. So this obedience is very important. So we have to obey Krishna and we have to obey the representative of Krishna. We have to obey his also master. We have to obey our superiors. So to the degree we are obedient, especially Krishna, to the degree we are obedient to those who are helping us, guiding us in Krishna. So that we will be free. We will see that we will be free from lust. But if we become disobedient, arrogant, then what will happen? We will be shackled ourselves. And we will be very, very meaningful. As soon as we become submissive to Krishna, follow Guru Parampara, we are ready to humbly serve. Then we become humble servant of the Lord of Krishna. To that degree, we will be free from Maya. But to the degree you don't want to serve devotees and you want to become Lord and Master, to that degree you become servants of Maya. So we have to pray to Krishna, we have to pray to Narasimhadev, my dear Narasimhadev. There's so much lust in my heart. Please free me from this lust. Let there be no material desire for our heart. May I have spiritual desire. May I have desire to serve Guru Krishna and Vaishnavas. May I try give my all energies for that. May I not succumb to lust. We can pray. We can chant sincerely as attentively as possible. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Soulship is so powerful. As soon as lusty thought comes, we just chant lusty thought, please go away. Lust cannot stay in front of holy name, in front of God, in front of Krishna. Ravana, who is personification of lust, he wanted to enjoy Mother Sita, but he was not able to convince Mother Sita. So he was very frustrated. So one of his demonic friends said, "Hey Ravana, what a fool you are. No? You should just take form of Lord Ram. And then immediately Mother Sita will agree and you can enjoy with Mother Sita." Ravana said, "You fool, do you think this idea would not have come to me?" He said, "This was the first idea I got. I thought that I will take form of Lord Ram and go and enjoy her. But problem with this thought is that if I have to take form of Lord Ram, I have to chant his names. I have to remember Ram, I have to chant his names. But whenever I chant his names, whenever I chant Ram, Ram, immediately lust in my heart goes away. And Sita appears to be like mother. So Ravana is a personality of lust, but even he, when he chanted the holy names, he was free from lust. What is free from lust? If we chant the holy names of Lord sincerely, we can be also free from lust. And especially when your lust attacks, just call out Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. We see that lust will go away. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna Bhagavan ki jai, Krishna Bhagavan ki jai. Offering is going on. So I think offering is going on. So when offering comes, everybody will have prasad. So till offering comes out, if anybody has any question, you can take. Huh? Okay. If anybody has any questions, I can take. Yes, Prabhu. You can tell your name, your college, and question. Yes, mic is there. Haribo, somebody has mic. Okay, loudly. You can come little closer so we'll hear him properly.
Krishna Prabhuji,
Hare.
Ansh Rani from Medical University Indore.
What call name?
Ansh,
Ansh, yes. Pardon, Pastor Krishna. Ansh. Amay Vamsho Jivaloke,
I
Jiva
want to
Sanatana.
know your views on Osho's mentality or Osho's working.
What is Osho's philosophy?
Yeah,
What is his? I don't know.
it, uh, it was just opposite. He said that it was like conduct session and go to heaven. It was like opposite.
So its opposite means that is foolishness, rascal. So what we should follow Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. We should follow Vedic, what is being done. But somebody, there are so many people, like there are so many scientists keep on writing so many things. They will do research and say, oh, okay, lust is very good, this is very good. Why they are doing? Because they are getting money for publishing that paper and they are selling some product out of it. So these are people are captivated by some these things. But that doesn't change the reality. Okay?
Title used to take from the path of death to heaven.
That is nonsense. Okay? That is cheating business. Sambhog samadhi. That is not a reality. That is cheating. First, we have to control mind and senses. And develop love. These are two different things. One is path to hell, one is path to kingdom of God. Okay? If you want to go to kingdom of God, we should chant holy names of Lord. We should follow Bhagavad Gita. We should control mind and senses. If you try to gratify our mind and senses, you go to hell. There are three gates to hell. Lust, greed, and pride. There are three gates to hell. So we should be in name of just because somebody has beard and somebody just then somebody write book doesn't make him a wise man or sadhu. So sadhu means one who speaks sat, eternal truth, which is prescribed in scriptures and which is described by a great acharyas coming down in Parva. No acharya said Sambhog Samadhi. Ramacharya, Madhvacharya, all these Shankaracharya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all of them said we have to control lust. We can't fall prey to lust. If you fall prey to lust, there is no question of love. And your life will be ruined, material, spiritual, everything. So this is all teaching of all acharyas. This is all teaching of Bhagavad Gita. This is teaching of Bhagavatam. And somebody teaching against it, that means he's cheating. He's not a teacher, he's a cheater. So teacher has to teach as per Vedic text, as per Guru Parampara. Sometimes you try to gratify people since you get many followers. Because people want that, cheap things. You tell the truth, people don't want to hear the truth or pay the price. They want some cheap things, they want some duplicate things, and they want to just feel spiritual and this thing. It is not spiritual. It is just animalistic, material. Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare.
I just want to ask you, if anger is required in our life, means sometimes people create those type of situations to protect our respect, self-respect. We can say that in front of many people. So it is good to be that we show our anger in front of them.
Two things are there. Lust is born from passion, and if lust is unsatisfied, it transforms into wrath. And wrath takes us to ignorance, ignorance takes us to destruction. Anger is one shot of danger. Anger is 1 liter shot of danger. ANGER. You put D to it, it will become danger. So anger is very dangerous. When sometimes we are not honored, we are not respected, we are our desires are not fulfilled. That means our lust is not fulfilled. We become angry. If lust is not fulfilled, it transforms into anger. If lust is fulfilled, it transforms into greed. But all this destroys. So, anger, lust should be engaged in service of Krishna. What is lust engaged in service of Krishna means? Instead of trying to gratify our senses, we should try to gratify Krishna's sense. Similarly, anger should be used in Krishna's service. Like Hanuman used anger to destroy Lanka. So that's very good. Arjuna used anger to destroy enemies. So if somebody does harm to us, somebody insults us, we should tolerate. That is very good. But if somebody does harm to God or devotees of God, then we can become angry. That is very nice. Like Hanuman became angry, that's wonderful. But somebody humiliates us and we become angry, then that is just sign of lust only. Lust has transformed into anger. So that we should tolerate. One should understand, oh, he's humiliating me, maybe because past life I must have humiliated him. So it's my karma, let me just tolerate. One day Srila Prabhupada was giving class, all of a sudden one person from the audience stood up and started yelling, shouting and giving bad words to Prabhupada. So Prabhupada disciples were there immediately got up and they were about to catch him and beat him. Prabhupada said, no one. He said, maybe I did something wrong in his last life. So he just reacts. I just tolerate it. If anybody does anything, insults us, we tolerate it. But if somebody insults God or insults devotees, we can become angry. Okay? Does that answer your question? हाँ?
अभी तो नहीं लगता है, मतलब मैं सेटिस्फाई नहीं हूँ इस क्वेश्चन, मतलब आंसर।
Okay, so
मतलब मुझे लगता है अगर वी आर इन मटेरियलिस्टिक लाइफ तो हमें भी तो वैसे ट्रीट करना पड़ेगा ना। अगर ठीक है सामने वाला आपको कर रहा दैट्स ओके और आप भी वैसे ही नहीं करते हो समाओ, तो फिर वो अगेन अगेन उसी लूप में चलता रहेगा।
no, that is wrong philosophy. You may not be convinced, but you should understand laws of nature. This world is not going on by your will or my will or anybody's will. Not a blade of grass can move without sanction of Lord. Nobody can humiliate you unless God sanctions. And God will not sanction unless you deserve it. And if you try to counteract action reaction, one will get messed up with. Like eat ka jawab patthar se, no, he may hit you with brick, he may hit with stone, and then he may take a gun, and then you may take a machine gun, and then he may put atom bomb, and what is that? That will lead to destruction. So anger is one letter short of danger. If you don't control our anger, our life will be ruined. You may not be convinced, but you can do trial and error, and you see your life will be destroyed. If you control anger, you have a brighter future. Controlling anger is a sign of actually one's greatness. One's greatness has to be estimated by one's ability to tolerate provoking situation. How much one is great, one can know by how much he is able to tolerate. How much one is low class, third class, one can know how much he can easily provoke by anger. All the sages once they wanted to know who's supreme. They chose Brahmani because you can go and find out who's supreme. And what test he did? He tested anger. He went to Brahma and he didn't go down. Brahma became angry. And immediately understood he cannot be supreme because he's getting angry. Then he went to Shiva and Shiva very happily came to embrace him. Oh my dear brother, thank you for coming. And he just spoke bad words to Shiva. Shiva became angry, and he immediately took Trishul to kill him, some of Parvati's children. And then later on he went to Vishnu. And Vishnu was lying on bed and Mother Lakshmi was massaging his feet. Prabhu went and hit on the chest of Vishnu. Vishnu just got up and begged forgiveness from Prabhu. He said, my dear Prabhu, your lotus feet are so soft, my heart is so hard, maybe you must have got pain. And he made him sit on asana and started massaging his feet. and he glorified him, and he worshipped him, and he said, my this place has now become sanctified. Thank you very much. And when the woman saw his humility and his tolerance, he understood he is the supreme Lord. No? Because nobody can be great. So one greatness has to be estimated by one's ability to tolerate broken history. How much we are able to tolerate, to that degree we are great. How much we are controlled by anger, to that degree we are lonely. To that degree our life will be ruined, our future will be ruined. So some foolish people may say, oh, we can go Pakka 7. But that is not what scriptures say. That is not what Krishna says. That is not how world works. Whoever goes by anger, they will be destroyed. But one who learns to tolerate, he will progress in life. All great people have tolerated. If there is some injustice done to oneself, one should tolerate. But one should not tolerate injustice done to others. If somebody does injustice to your friend or to your family member, to near dear ones or no, to devotees or Krishna, then you can be angry. Then you can be angry like fire. That is glorified. To be angry to protect others, that is glorified. But to be angry for one's own self, that is not very much appreciated.
तो प्रभु पहले जो ऋषि मुनि तपस्या करते थे, अगर उनकी तपस्या कोई भंग कर दे या फिर कोई भी जैसे भगवान ने करवाई तो
किसने की और किसकी तपस्या भंग की?
आई डोंट नो बट आई हैव सीन मेनी टाइम्स, मतलब ऐसा मैंने देखा है, सुना है, इसलिए मतलब पूरा नहीं पता मुझे।
हाँ,
बट मैंने देखा है कि जैसे किसी की तपस्या कोई चेक कर रहा भगवान का और कई बार उनकी तपस्या भंग हो गई तो वो तो डायरेक्ट भस्म कर देते थे ना।
Yes.
वो तो
So
anger ही था।
that is condemned. That leads the fall down. So Vishwamitra Muni, first time he got attracted to Menka, so he fell down because of lust. Later on, again he started performing tapasya. Again Indra sent Ramba, and when he saw Ramba, he understood. "Arey, last time, thousands of years of tapasya was ruined because of Menka. Now another officer has come to disturb me." So immediately he burnt her with anger. So then again he lost all his power. Again he fell down. So first time he fell down because of lust. Next time he fell down because of anger. Because anger is nothing but that just shows uh, second form of lust only. What is anger? Lust is transformed into anger. So anger is nothing but transformation of lust. So first he fell down because of lust. Later on he fell down because of anger. So both time he was condemned. Understand? Then later on he fell down because of pride. Finally he took shelter of Krishna, chanted holy names of Krishna. Then he was purified, and then he developed love for Krishna. Then he achieved perfection. Then he was able to become Guru of even Lord Ram. Lord Ram accepted him as Guru because later on he became purified. So yes, one may have lust, one may have anger, no problem. But one should understand they are anarthas, and one should try to remove them, purify. One should not glorify them and try to increase them. That will destroy us. But one understands it's anartha, I should be freed of it, and one becomes freed of it. Then one's life is glorified. So Vishwamitra Muni fell down of anger, fell down because of lust, fell down because of pride. But later on, he humbled himself. And then later on, because of being humbling himself, he became a great devotee. Such a great devotee that Lord Ram accepted as Guru. Okay. So whoever we may be, we may have lust, anger, no problem. But by process of spiritual life, by process of Krishna consciousness, by process of chanting Hare Krishna, one can conquer our lust, conquer our anger, and one can become pure devotee, person filled with love in heart, love for God and love for all. So more powerful than lust and anger is actually love. Love can conquer everyone. By lust you can't conquer. You will be conquered by lust and anger. But by love you can conquer whole world. So Swami Prabhupada, he had no money, he had no great contacts, he had no this support from institution or government. But his heart was filled with love. So he went to America. So he conquered people by his love. Hippies, and they gave their entire life to serve him. They became saintly people. And then he went to America, Russia, Europe, Africa, so many people. Everybody surrendered to him and dedicated lives to serve him out of love. So one person asked Prabhupada, Swamiji, he was secretary of Prabhupada. He was traveling, Prabhupada was very much traveling. In 12 years, 14 times he circled the globe. Practically every third day he will be in different city. He said, Swamiji, I've been traveling with you last 1 year, and I'm saying, whichever country you go, whichever city you go, so many people love you. How is that? Prabhupada said, because I love them. So if you love person, you will also get a lot of love. But love is selfless, pure. It's not material. So what goes in the name of love today is actually lust. Pure love is very powerful. Pure love can shape whole world. There's no power compared to love. Pure love can is undefeated in the sense. No matter how person may be, by love one can conquer anyone. In this world, ultimately, what people are looking is actually love. And if they still love, even God is conquered by love. What to speak of anybody in this world? So you have choice whether you want to cultivate love or cultivate lust, greed, and anger. By cultivating lust, greed, and anger, will be destroyed. By cultivating love, you'll find great fulfillment in our life, great happiness in our life, and we'll be happy in this life, and then we'll go to kingdom world to become eternally happy. I don't know whether is it making any sense to you or not. Answering your question to some extent. Huh? By anger, we can control people for some time, but with love, we can actually conquer them. Yes. Love is more powerful than lust. Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Prasad has ready. Prasad can come here. Huh? Prasad is there. So, yes, last question. And then we'll take Prasad.
Prabhuji, I am Sujit from NIT Durgapur. Prabhuji, I have one doubt. Why has God created lust? If it is a just matter of procreation, then we'll just procreate. There is no requirement of lust.
God has not created lust. Actually, what is lust? Our desire to enjoy separate from God is lust. If you want to serve God, there is love, that is love. And our desire to enjoy separate from God, that is lust. You understand? That so-called attraction, that is superficial attraction. But the root of that attraction is our desire to enjoy separate from Krishna. But if you give up that desire to enjoy separate from Krishna and you develop desire to serve Krishna, there is no lust. Okay? Haridas was chanting Hare Krishna. Even prostitute came, 3 nights. Haridas was chanting, and just by hearing her chanting, prostitute became devotee. So there was no problem. Our Vyasdev's son, Sukdev Goswami, he was 16 years old, but he was completely self-realized. He was absorbed in spiritual thoughts. So when he was walking, he was not aware of his body. He was not wearing any clothes also. And when he was passing by a lake where women were taking bath, they saw him naked, but they were not agitated by him. And when Vyasdev came, immediately they became conscious, immediately they covered their bodies and all this. And Vyasdev asked, my dear girls, my son just passed naked. He's just young, 16 years boy. And you did not feel any disturbance. And when I am coming, immediately you are covering your body. What's the? I am like your father or grandfather. What is the difference? He said, because Sukdev Goswami, he has no lust in heart. So he sees everyone on spiritual platform. So it doesn't agitate anybody because in heart there is love. There is no agitation. But he said you are a grasta. Grasta means he has to discriminate body and soul. Body. So Sukdev Goswami is on spiritual platform, he doesn't discriminate whether boy or girl, whether man or woman, whether a human, animal. For him everybody is spirit soul. The body is just like a dress. But they said that you are a grasta, you discriminate between man and woman. So then there is this thing, body disturbance, agitation. So coming back to the point is that it's not that it's our creation. Lust is our creation. And what is lust? A desire to enjoy separate love. But it's our creation. We can get rid of that creation ourselves. By giving up our desire to enjoy separate Krishna and by developing our desire to serve Krishna. And develop desire to serve Krishna, there is no lust. One can be material world, one can be spiritual, one can be anywhere. Doesn't matter. Instead of developing our desire to enjoy, you have to give up our desire to enjoy, you have to desire to serve. If we replace enjoyment and self-attitude, everything is wonderful. Then whatever we see, we can engage everything in Krishna service. Oh, there's money, wonderful, use in Krishna service. Oh, there's beautiful woman, yes, engage in Krishna service. Oh, big house, wonderful, engage in Krishna service. Oh, this big technology, wonderful, engage in Krishna service. What is that? When you have service attitude, we will engage everything in Krishna service. That's no problem. But when there's enjoyment, then there's problem. We see anything, we think of enjoyment, no, there's problem. Okay. So we have to give up enjoyment ability by developing service attitude. Service attitude towards Krishna, service attitude towards Guru and Vaishnavas. When we try to serve Guru, Krishna, Vaishnavas, and all the entities under direction of Guru and Krishna, then we are safe. Srimad Bhagavad Gita की जय, Srimad Prabhupada की जय, महाप्रसाद की जय. Thank you very much. महाप्रसादे गोविंदे,
Mahaprasade Govinde,
राम ब्रह्मणे वैष्णवे,
Brahmane Vaishnave,
सर्वपुण्यवतं राजन्
Sarvapurya
विश्वासनैव जायते
Jayate,
शरीरा अविद्याच्या जडेंद्रिया ताहे काल पहिले विषय सागरे मध्ये निवाती